Yeah, we have Matt from California. Matt, do you have a story to tell or a question to ask?
I have both.
All right, go ahead.
Well, sorry, let me step away from my daughter. I had a situation where I was listening to all these stories, and I'm no different. Basically, I had a domestic dispute with an ex, and it's been a 13-year off-and-on relationship. He had just come back. We had tried to work it out, and apparently it didn't work out. Anyhow, there was no physical abuse, mostly verbal and threats. But unfortunately, our daughter was present, and my son basically was the one who called the police and requested that he be escorted out. Anyways, he was on his way out. The police came, walked in, sort of rushed into the house, and detained him right away. And the report was done. Everything was, I thought, they let him go the next day because I had refused to press charges because I didn't feel that I needed to, since he didn't attack me or touch me physically. Anyhow, his charges was terrorist threats, child endangerment, and domestic violence. And I opted not to have the restraining order. Anyhow, I met with the CPS who asked to meet with me. They came at midnight to talk to my daughter. I told them she was asleep, and I couldn't believe why they would come at midnight. But anyhow, I said, she's asleep. Can we talk in the morning? So after reviewing and doing a lot of my investigation, every report tells you talk to the CPS and make it go away as peaceful as possible. That's what I thought I was doing. I gave her all the information that basically what happened during the incident. She wrote it down. She kept wording everything I was saying incorrectly. So when we ended up having the family plan meeting, I noticed she kept wording it incorrectly, and I corrected her. I said, I'm not signing this until you correct this, because this is not true. She went back and forth with me for about 40 minutes as I continuously kept saying the same thing to her, that the order of the situation that occurred did happen, but it didn't happen in that order. She kept stating, father held mother down and threatened, I will kill you, which isn't exactly what happened. And basically she said to me, well, if you don't like the way I worded it, write me a letter and send it to me. And I wrote her a letter, CC'd her supervisor, and wrote her a letter. Next thing I know, she calls my support, who is the family support, and tells her, hey, she's changing her story again, and basically I think she's protecting him, blah, 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 and discusses the whole case with her without my consent, even though this woman is my support. It's supposed to be my family support that I put into the case because they said I needed to have someone to support me as part of the safety plan. Anyhow, long story short, basically about a month later, I get a call from an attorney telling me that the city has filed a lawsuit against me, and I am to appear in court the next day. And he basically tells me he asks for my email information, emails me the report, and basically there's 3 pages of, I guess, which would be the initial hearing, of her explaining basically everything that we discussed, including some twisted words and misinformation, basically. Then she's also mixing past history relationship along with this current relationship, so it's kind of very, basically I felt as if she just basically tried to sabotage the case, and so therefore I feel a sense of being retaliated by her. And I have been telling my attorney this is in retaliation. I've told the social worker she's retaliating. Anyhow, now we are in the trial stage. We did go through the settlement. Settlement was on the 3rd. And the social worker, I guess she was the investigative social worker. The next social worker who met with us felt like, after talking to my daughter and talking to all of us and reviewing all our cases, and I said the same thing to her as well, that I felt retaliated, that that's not what happened. There was no harm. No one was injured. Basically, she made a recommendation that we handle this case out of court and the social workers review our case based on supervised visitation and so on. Now, as far as the father goes, he lost custody. They took his custody, basically, of the threats that he had made. I don't know why he didn't fight it. I'm not sure. Anyhow, I don't understand how my case has went from domestic violence victim to now fighting for my daughter. And basically these claims of abuse, because they say my daughter said my mommy spanked me. Or I'm not sure exactly. Hello?
I'm here.
Okay.
So what is your question?
My question is, my daughter has never met with the court-appointed attorney that was supposed to represent her, but he was the one that refused to accept the settlement. And I'm trying to understand at this point, what options do I have?
The only option you have right now is to perhaps ask your attorney to have the minor's attorney speak with the minor about the situation, or have a trial and make sure you put your child on the stand.
Put her on the stand
call her to testify.
Regarding the situation that happened?
Yes, and about what she feels like, with respect to coming home.
I'm sorry. Repeat that again.
How she feels about coming home.
Well, my child is still in my custody.
Oh. Then
I have my child.
Well, why are they having a trial then?
2 minutes.
What's the issue? What's the issue for the trial?
Basically, the claim that they made that the child was put in danger of emotional harm, and I'm not sure exactly why I'm on trial.
Well, they might think that the child is at risk either by way of the father or you or both of you.
Yeah, well, they said that she, even though the judge agreed that the child should be in my custody, and gave me custody, and the problem was they wanted me to get a restraining order, and then they said, if you can keep your child safe in the home with you,
1 minute.
then as long as the father doesn't have any contact with her in a supervised visitation. I said, yes, that's fine, okay. We've been doing that, so we've been doing supervised visitation and just been following court order.
Okay. Hey, now, I want to ask you to give me a call so we can continue this conversation. 888-888-6582. My engineer is telling me that I have to take a break now to pay some bills. So please give me a call and we'll continue the conversation because I do want to give you some more information. Call us back also on the show in 3 or 4 weeks so you can give us an update. Thank you for listening and thank you for calling in. This is The Secret, How to Fight Child Protective Services and Win. We'll be back right after these messages.